Hello everyone, this is Daniel and welcome back to another video where I want to talk about a project that is of course very dear to myself, which is Allusion, the open source tool that me and the team of 4 have been developing over the past 3 years. And today we're actually looking for a web designer who could help us do a little bit of a remake of our current website, help make it prettier, easier to find and all these things. So let me once again explain what this tool is all about, because many of you will probably not have heard about it just yet. We started about 3 years ago. We're just a few artists and developers who wanted to create a tool that helps artists sort of organize their visual library. Of course, many artists, they gather many pictures and reference images over many years, and it's sometimes hard to remember what you previously might have gathered already. So this is what our tool is for. And it basically is an interface to your existing folders and libraries of pictures. So what you would do is when you download Allusion from our website is you add locations. And locations are really just folders on your computer with images inside. So I will select, for example, here a demo folder and include the subdirectories. And all the pictures that are inside will just show up right away in Allusion, arranged very pretty, in any way that you like. It's very customizable in that sense, so that's really cool. And you might have pictures in a different folder as well, so then you would just add the different folder and it will just show up. And we don't really need to copy any of your data because if I open the folder quickly here, it's a watched location, so we just access whatever you put inside. For example, if I was to add a new picture to this library, right away you'll see that it shows up in your library and is accessible right away, everything in one place. And one feature that I personally like a lot is just how pretty Allusion arranges them. So we have different views with which you can arrange your pictures. You can of course make them smaller and larger, whatever really suits your need. And there's many settings. I just want to quickly switch this. I think this is also a view that's very, very cool. But this is now where the really innovative part of our application comes into play, which is what we focused on the most, which is the tags. Because usually many applications might have tags, but they only let you list a bunch of things and assign them. But in Allusion, you are able to actually create tag hierarchies. So let me just quickly create a few tags like this, and you'll be able to select them and drag them onto each other to create sort of a hierarchy. So we could, for example, have another category with other art and do something like this. So here we have now 2 folders, and this really helps to organize not only sort of the contents that you want to manage, but also so that you don't forget about what things you have already sort of added to your list of tags. So now let's go ahead and add tags. You don't need to apply the parent tag. You'll see soon why that is. So let's, for example, say that this character here is character B, this is character A, and here we have character C. So we can apply tags to multiple items at once. It's a very quick process, and you can also do this all with your keyboard. For example, here I can add this to 3D very easily, switch to the next one. I'm opening this window, by the way, just with the keyboard shortcut of T. So hitting T will open this window, and then you can just type away. So now that everything is tagged, all you need to do is to click on this little icon and you'll be able to look for that. So that's really useful. One more feature that I want to show you, which is also pretty nice, is that if you remove this tag, you have here 2 buttons down there. One is for viewing all the untagged images, and one is, well, just returning to your main view where you have all your pictures, the tagged ones and the untagged ones. And finally, there's many new features now in the newest version. You can, for example, create a search where you search, for example, for this and that. In this case, I should explain that too. You search for images that have both tags, but you can also click this button here, and now you'll search for anything that has either one of these tags. So that's how you can, for example, bring up results of two different tags at once. And then here is now the saved searches, where you can just add that. It just brings up this editor where it's already preset, so you can just hit save. We could also change the name for that if that's a project that you're working on and that's sort of your default view that you want to switch to. It will now be very easy to always bring up this view, and just makes life a lot easier. So we can always go back like this. And finally, this search is our basic search, and we have an advanced search where you can do more advanced queries. So you can of course look for tags. You know, it is pretty much what you would expect. We could look for everything that has character art and then add another, and then you add the criteria, so that this is the list of criteria that you have, and then you build the next thing. And then you can of course, so let's say for example we want anything that has been added after today or something like this. And you can of course again say if you want to match any criteria or all criteria. So then you search, and yeah, it is a pretty specific search query, and we didn't get any results with this, but this is how you'd approach it. Finally, there's a few more cool things. You can, for example, sort them by different data, and also get a random listing. What you can do with this is, if you select something and hit spacebar, it will open up in a sort of a larger preview, and you can select now multiple pictures or all of them. Just hit this button and hit spacebar, and now you'll have sort of a random slide show of the pictures, which you can, for example, use to maybe do a sketching session with random poses or something like that. And you can of course also double click and get the detailed information here. So pretty much a lot of the features that you would expect are just intuitively there. Yeah, finally, there's a bunch of settings. You have a light theme, a dark theme. You can scale the UI. You can show or hide the assigned tags. If you hide them, they're only visible on your selection, by the way. You can also show your image name. Switch between this for the square view. You can edit your shortcuts. There's some, yeah, just a lot of things. Yeah, you also have a lot of compatibility with various file formats. You can also import and export various data. For example, you can write the tag data to the metadata, which can be read by applications such as Adobe Bridge. So if you have already tags in Adobe Bridge, you could, with this, import it. It is a bit, you know, might not work perfectly, because that's of course always difficult to get a good interface between two applications, but it should help you if you really need to move data in or out of this application. And you can also just back up your entire database, which should help you back up your precious data in here. And you will just find a lot more in here to play around with. So this is the application. My explanation was a bit long, but let me get back now to the very beginning of the video where I talked about our website. The thing is, we're now almost done with our project. It has been an open source free project. Everyone can download it right away, and we're not asking for anything, but we would like to have more people find our project, because we think that it can be very useful to artists. So we want to improve our website to show, present our application a lot better and make it also easier to discover. So if there's anyone out there among you who's experienced with not only designing the content, but also implementing it and doing these things, we would love to hear from you. It should be, not a huge project. I mean, this is literally all there is. It's one page where we just want to show the main features, the download link, and a nice cover. So it might be a good opportunity for some of you web designers out there to get some practical experience, but of course it will be up to you to decide if you're interested in this or not. So I will be posting a link to a form in the description of this video where you can tell us a bit more about yourself. Would love to hear from you, and we'll look through all the responses and get in touch. So I hope that at least you found the tool useful, and if you want to use it right now, the link to the application itself is also of course down below, so get it for free and try it out. I hope you'll like it. And should you find any bugs or requests, you can always go to our GitHub page and leave some issues or discussion topics here. Just keep in mind we're a small team, so we might be slow with our replies, or we might not be able to fix everything right away. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you liked it, and I'll talk to you again next time.